Hey, student, how are you? Welcome to our session on piecewise functions. Here is a piecewise function. It has two pieces. Y equals 2x minus 3 when x is greater than or equal to 2. And the second piece, negative 1/3 x minus 2 when x is less than negative 3. Let's take a look at the first piece. We'll use the first piece when x is greater than or equal to 2. Here is x is 2. When x is greater than or equal to 2, there we go, that's that part of the graph. We'll take a look at the second piece. When x is less than negative 3, there's negative 3 on the x. 1, 2, 3. And that's this part of our graph. All right. Let's take a look at the first piece. Y equals 2x minus 3 when x is greater than or equal to 2. Let's take a look at finding the end point. Let's substitute x equals 2 into the first piece. Let's find the y value. Substitute x to find y. We get y is 1. Our end point, we substituted 2 in for x and got 1 for y. Since we have greater than or equal to, we'll use a closed circle to graph this line. 2 up 1. Here is our end point, 2, 1. To graph the rest of this first piece, this is a line given in the form y equals mx plus b. Our slope, m, is 2. So we will go up 2, and to the right 1 to get a couple of points on this line. Up 2, to the right 1, up 2, to the right 1. This is the first piece. Let's take a look at the second piece. The second graph, y equals negative 1/3 x minus 2 when x is less than negative 3. Let's take a look at finding the end point. Let's substitute x equals negative 3 in to find the y value of our end point. You can always use a calculator to multiply negative 1/3 times negative 3. Negative 1/3 times negative 3. 2 negatives make a positive. And then we'll subtract. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. our endpoint, substituted -3 in for x, and got -1 for y. Since we have less than, we have an open circle on this endpoint. 3 comma -1, open circle on our endpoint. And then we'll use our slope, -1/3. And I'm going to go down 1, up 1, up 1, and to the left 3. 1, 2, 3. Up 1, to the left 2, 3. And this is the second piece of our piecewise function. And let me clean this up so you can get a good look at this graph. This is our piecewise function. You could also use Desmos to graph both of these lines, both of these pieces. Let's take a look at that. Here is the graph on Desmos of our piecewise function. We have our first piece, 2x minus 3, is the red graph. And the second piece is the blue graph. And we'll take a look at the domain. When x is greater than or equal to 2, so we want this piece of our first graph. When x is greater than or equal to 2. And the second piece, we want when x is less than 3, and we would have an open circle on that point. And that concludes our session on piecewise functions. Thanks so much for joining our session, and I'll see you next time.